You know, that's like a lot of engines that we've seen traditionally, but there's a reason for it. That helps with the self-balancing of the engine. That helps these pistons in here move in a symmetrical fashion. It's going to make the vehicle run more smoothly. It's also going to reduce the vibration within the engine. So I like really how you see in the V structure, we have 2 turbochargers right here on the top. You also have the water-cooled intercoolers right here, all connected together. It's a very neat, very compact design, but at the same time, even though it's compact, it has good ability for heat dissipation. So it keeps nice and cool at the same time. And another interesting thing about this is it has this connecting pipe design. So what this does is it ensures that the combustion fluctuations of the left and right side are in step, are remaining balanced. So this also keeps the left and right pistons moving in a symmetrical fashion, keeping in rhythm with one another. That's going to be important for the stability and the reliability of the power output on your engine. So that's kind of our V8 engine right here. This is the 4.0T V8 engine. This thing, very awesome. So that's kind of like the powerhouse, kind of the soul of the vehicle. But next, I want to take you guys over to view the smart cockpit. We go over to see the smart cockpit. All right. So that's kind of like, you know, the powerhouse of the vehicle, the core of the vehicle. You have that engine. But with a lot of GWM vehicles, you're seeing a lot of very intelligent, very ergonomic features, stuff that, you know, when you're driving your vehicle, you want that convenience, you want that, you know, just comfort of using a vehicle that really responds to you, that really listens to you. So that's kind of what we're going to be seeing at the smart cockpit. All right, so we have just left the off-road pavilion. Now we are entering what they call the technology pavilion. So like I was saying, this is where you're going to see a lot of the very user-friendly, ergonomic, very advanced technologies that are being used in these vehicles. As you can see, it's kind of tough to get through here. There's people everywhere. What's up? So it's kind of a maze to get through this place. I mean, it's absolutely massive, the GWM exhibition. So right here, we actually have, sorry about that, we actually have a concept vehicle. This thing's pretty crazy, right? But here is where I want to talk to you guys about the smart cockpit. So smart cockpit, steady control for the future is what they have written right there. So one of the interesting things I want to talk to you guys about this smart cockpit is the HUD feature. So that is the heads-up display. Now this is something that kind of started off in the aerospace industry. Planes, rockets, stuff like that, they used the HUD. But now more and more it's being used in passenger vehicles, you know, vehicles that we can actually drive, and in a lot of GWM vehicles. So this heads-up display, it takes things from your vehicle dashboard, like your speedometer, even your navigation, and it projects it right up onto your windshield. So when you're driving your vehicle, you never have to take your eyes off of the road in front of you. It's all displayed right there. So you're not looking up and down and up and down, and maybe it's not a big deal for a short drive, but if you're driving for hours at a time, that's going to waste a lot of your mental energy and create fatigue. So you save that energy, it's all in one place. That is going to be important for an optimally safe driving experience. And now another one of these things, that's the HUD. Another one of the things that we're seeing in the smart cockpit is the Coffee OS, is the Coffee operating system. This thing's really cool. They got the 2.0, they got the 3.0. So a lot of these GWM vehicles, they have multiple screens. They're all interconnected with this operating system, the Coffee. And you have lots of apps, lots of different features you can use. And I've tested it out before. In my opinion, it's like you have your own personal desktop within the vehicle. The amount of stuff that this thing can do is amazing. Also, you take like 3 fingers. If you got something on this screen, you want to throw it over to your passenger so they can see it. You take the 3 fingers, you swipe it over, and they can watch it as well. So very cool. Let's head over to the next one. All right, so next I want to also show you guys the 3D wind tunnel, so we'll go over there. I'll talk to you about the rest of the smart cockpit. We're kind of short on time because we do have the international conference going up, so I'm trying to show you guys as much as possible. So another thing in that smart cockpit is you have the, I think it's called the DMS, the driver monitoring system, a bunch of sensors able to sense the driver's body temperature, pulse, even the emotions in your voice. So for example, if the DMS detects that the driver the way he's talking sounds a little tired, it can drop the temperature on the AC, cool it down, turn on the massage feature on the seats as well, kind of to perk up the driver and respond in real time to the driver's condition, bodily condition, you know, emotional condition. So that to me is just so sci-fi-like, that the vehicle is able to monitor you like that in real time and respond without you saying a word, without you saying anything to your condition. So right here, this is, I believe, in a moment around where we're going to be having the international conference. So you can see people are really starting to line up here. It's really kind of getting crowded. Let's see how we're doing on time. All right, 9:55. I've still got 15 minutes left with you guys. Let's see what all we can see with our 15 minutes. So over here, we're going to be looking at a 3D model of the wind tunnel they use. So before we even get there, you know, let's make the best use of our time. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this wind tunnel. So they are testing vehicles at wind speeds of 155 kilometers per hour. That is very strong winds. And now what they've done is they are improving the aerodynamic function of this vehicle, dropping that drag coefficient to the lowest amount possible. So currently they have gotten the drag coefficient down to 0.29. And let me tell you, for them to just drop it by 0.01, just by 0.01 is a ton of work. They have to do multiple tests, all sorts of calculations, but that commitment to tweaking the vehicle nonstop to make it as efficient as possible. Because, you know, better aerodynamics, you're going to have better speed, better acceleration, and for the average driver, that's also going to mean, more importantly, better fuel economy. So you're going to be saving on fuel. So for example, if we're talking about a purely electric vehicle, so maybe your vehicle doesn't burn fuel, doesn't burn gasoline, purely electric, just the improvement in this aerodynamic of the vehicle is going to, is going to make it to where your battery life is going to extend by 5%. You're going to be able to go 5% further with the same battery, and wind noise also going to be reduced. We are going to have a 4 decibel drop in wind noise. So better comfort, better fuel economy. This vehicle is going to take you further. They've also tested this vehicle in rain conditions, snow conditions as well. So they test it in extreme conditions to make sure that this vehicle performs in any scenario you might run into. So where we're at right now is the high floor architecture. So the goal of this high floor architecture that they're using in GWM vehicles now is to make new energy vehicles more feasible and more usable for a whole variety of users. So that's going to mean that our vehicle is safer, more eco-friendly. It's going to be more comfortable to ride in, and it's going to be stronger, better power, better performance. So the way that this high floor architecture works is that it has a dual motor structure. So at the front axle, that's the front axle up there, we have what they call a flat wire oiled cooled motor. So that's going to improve your power density by 30%. And now in the rear as well, we have a differential lock. So the differential lock is going to be very important for the vehicle when it is in off-road conditions. If you're driving and you're on an unlevel surface, it's a little bumpy, you know, maybe a lot of potholes and stuff like that, one tire pops up, and it starts spinning out, that differential lock comes in, locks in that wheel, make sure that the torque is getting, and the torque and the power is getting to the tire with the most traction and the one that can actually perform. So that's going to be very important when you are in an unstable driving condition and off-road conditions as well. And now, another interesting thing about this high floor architecture is that it also makes it to where switching to four-wheel drive is insanely fast. So you can switch from two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive in a matter of 0.1 seconds. So literally a tenth of a second, you are going from two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive. I mean, that is insane speed. So when we're talking about this high floor, it's also, like I was saying, a big deal for fuel economy. So with this high floor architecture, GWM vehicles are using 18% less fuel than their traditional fuel counterparts. So 18% compounded over years and years of driving these GWM vehicles, that is going to save you a lot on fuel costs. And it's, you know, from a bigger point of view, it's also just environmentally friendly. It's good on your conscience as well. So GWM developing this high floor, they have used 3 years' time. They have been working on this thing, tweaking it, optimizing it for 3 years, and it really just shows that commitment to bringing the best product, the nonstop optimization, improvement. You know, they might already have some great vehicles, but they want to keep taking it up another notch and another notch until it is really the best vehicle. It really provides the best value for the users. So right here, we are coming up on, we don't have the, so right here we have the wind tunnel that I was talking about earlier, but I don't think we need to talk about the wind tunnel because I kind of already talked to you guys about that. But so over here, you have the wind tunnel, like I was saying, tested it in 155 kilometer per hour winds. We're seeing a drop in the drag coefficient, and there were another couple other things. So like I was saying, the snow and rain tests that they're also using in their laboratory here makes it to where they're testing these vehicles in extreme scenarios. So ice, snow, rain, they're making sure that GWM vehicles can perform under a variety of conditions. Because when you're driving your vehicle, especially if you're off-roading, going on long trips, you don't know what conditions you are going to be running into. You could really bump into a whole host of things. So after that, I want to also show you guys this body over here. Let's go look at the body of the vehicle. So, because I talked to you guys about the wind tunnel 3D model coming over here, we're going to talk about the body design that is being used in a lot of GWM vehicles. Now, for GWM, safety is really the bottom line. If you don't have safety, if your vehicle is not a safe vehicle, then you can add all sorts of tech and all sorts of features. It doesn't matter because your vehicle is not safe. You're in danger just driving it, and it's not going to give you that peace of mind to really enjoy your vehicle. But what we're looking at with the GWM body of their vehicles is, you see here we have several different colors going on, and I'll tell you guys what these colors mean. These are different strength, these are different types and strengths of steel. So really solid steel being used in this. For example, you see that yellow part right there, that is 1,500 megapascal hot expansion formed beams. So those are the beams that are running through the vehicle. The megapascals I'm talking about here is, it kind of represents the strength of the steel, the amount of pressure and impact that this steel can take on. So 1,500 megapascals on that yellow one. Blue right here, this is cold rolled high strength steel. Dark blue, we have ultra high strength steel, and then the purple right here, this is 1,500 megapascals of hot formed high strength steel plates. So really strong steel on all these colors right here, but the strongest one, mind you, is this red one right here. So this is one of the strongest ones. So this is 2,000 megapascal hot formed ultra strong steel plates. 2,000 megapascals. That is extremely strong steel. This is the kind of stuff that is typically used in submarine manufacturing. Think about it. Really deep underwater, all that water pressure coming in around the submarine. This thing has to use the strongest of the strong when it comes to steel. But more and more, this red steel right here, this 2,000 megapascal ultra high strength steel, GWM is using it in their vehicles. This is the strongest caliber of steel that is currently being used in civilian use vehicles. So this is the strongest. And I ran you through all the different colors, this red being the strongest. This whole vehicle, vehicle body is over 80% high strength steel. So right there, they have the exact number, 81.96% high strength steel being used in the body of this vehicle. So that's really kind of that body of your vehicle. Oh, thank goodness, some water. Thank you. So that high strength body, that's your first line of defense. If your vehicle is, in the unfortunate event of impact, of collision, that high strength steel is your first line of defense. Another safety feature they put on here is the airbag curtains. So these airbag curtains, super long, 3.38 meters long. They cover the front row, the middle row, and the back row. These are the things that deploy around your windows. There's side airbag curtains. These things, once they inflate, they have a maximum volume of 110 liters. So ultra long, ultra large in terms of volume capacity, And once these things deploy, they stay deployed and stay inflated, maximum inflation, for over at least 6 seconds. Now that is the safety standard, because once your airbags deploy, you also need them to stay inflated for a certain amount of time to ensure that you have sufficient duration, and protection against these impacts. So, so the airbag curtains, very long, 3.38 meters, 110 liters, and they stay inflated for 6 seconds. This covers the whole vehicle from front row to back row on the sides. So, I mean, when we're talking about safety, you have the ultra high strength steel plates. You also have these airbag curtains. It's GWM's way of making sure that both the driver and the passengers have maximum protection in the unfortunate event of any adverse scenario. So when it comes to safety, they really keep their eye on that, and they really make it the priority. Like I said, GWM says safety is their bottom line. So far, I've kind of showed you guys a lot of different things. We've looked at the intelligent features of some of these vehicles. We've looked at like the smart cockpit. We've looked at kind of the powertrain, the powerhouse of this vehicle, like the things that like the V8 engine, the high floor architecture we have right here. We also looked at the body of the vehicle, this thing, super strong strength. And in a little bit, we're gonna also be taking you guys to look more in depth at both the tech pavilion and at the off-road pavilion, because there's really a lot of good stuff to see. I can only show you guys so much in 25 minutes. So we're going to dive more in depth later this afternoon. So I'm talking to you guys on the 23rd of April. This afternoon, we're going to be talking with experts as well. So we're going to be sitting down with people who are experts on the powertrain, are experts on the technology being used in this vehicle. They're going to be giving us an in-depth explanation. So also on the 24th, because like I said, at the off-road pavilion, you have modified vehicles. So these are GWM vehicles that people have gone and modded themselves. They put all sorts of cool features on it, really tricked it out to their own personal taste. So that is on the 24th. Also on the 26th of April, we're going to have an off-road test drive stream. So we're going to be seeing how these vehicles, GWM vehicles, because a lot of them are off-road vehicles, the Tank 300, 400, 500. You also have the PAL as well, the pickup truck. These things perform pretty awesome in my opinion in off-road conditions. I've ridden in them as well. So we're going to see on the 26th, we're going to have a live stream for that. Also, I encourage you guys, if you just so happen to be around Shanghai or be in China, come check out the auto show yourself. This stuff, what you can see here, lots of different brands, lots of cool stuff. So there is a lot to see, especially at the GWM pavilion. It's really cool because there's a lot of interactive components as well. You can get your hands on it. You can sit in the vehicles. You can test out how the features work. So very cool. So right here behind us, what we're looking more at the high floor architecture. So you have the high floor Z, you also have the high floor T. These are two different types that are being used in different GWM vehicles. And like I said, you can see much better right here now that we've walked over here. I think it's a little better display than that one, is you have the dual motor design. So you have, like I was telling you, what do they call this? The flat wire, oil-cooled motor in the front. You have the motor in the back as well. Differential locks, all that. It's really going to be important for off-road driving, but not just off-road driving with this high floor tech. This thing is going to make sure that any type of user is going to find it a very versatile and very feasible vehicle. Whether it be off-road adventures, but you're not going on outdoor adventures every day. So it might also be just your day-to-day vehicle, just getting you to and from work as well. This is also going to be a vehicle that provides comfort and an eco-friendly a fuel economical experience as well. So typically, they talk about the triangle of vehicles. You have performance, you have efficiency, and you have comfort. It's hard to get all three, but what GWM is doing with this high floor that they've developed is they're trying to hit performance, hit comfort, and fuel efficiency all at the same time. Make sure that you get all of the benefits of a strong, solid, all-around versatile vehicle when you're driving it. So in just a second now, I believe we're going to be starting our conference in just a little bit. So like I said, this conference coming up at 10:20, we are going to be looking at the newest strategies of GWM, the newest models, the newest things coming out, the debut, advanced technologies, stuff like that. Also GWM events that are coming up. There's a lot of fun events that they plan. I've been to quite a few of them. I've been up in the snowy mountains of Shanghai Mountain. I've been around being at what they call the Wolf's Tooth Mountain, so we're going to be hearing about the event as well. Also, we're going to be seeing all sorts of expert opinions, industry experts, their insights on the automobile industry, what they think of what's going on right now, because you know, automobile industry is an extremely dynamic, extremely disruptive industry, you could even say at the moment. Lots of new players coming in. Who's the best? You know, who has the best competitive advantage? It's something that is constantly changing. So right here, like I was saying, this is where we started off with the high 4 architecture. Now in just a little bit, I'm going to be switching you guys over to watch the GWM International Conference. That is coming up in just 10 minutes. Like I said, there is a lot of interesting things to hear in that. You're going to be seeing a lot of the newest models debuting, the features they have. Me personally, I've driven the Tank 300, the Tank 400, the Tank 500. I've ridden in the PAL. This was all at the beginning of this year and last year as well. So me personally, I am very excited to see what they are going to be bringing to the table in the new year. What is the newest stuff? What are the newest features we're seeing on it? Because we're talking about the raw performance and power of the vehicle, and we're also talking about a lot of the ergonomic and very user-friendly features that we're seeing in the vehicle as well. So it's really kind of both aspects of that. And of course, we're seeing the safety as well, because we want to make sure that our drivers, you know, whether you're using it for fun or you're using it just for daily driving and day-to-day needs, you want to be safe no matter what you're doing. So, right, so 10:20, that is our GWM Group and International Conference that is coming up. So I'm going to switch you guys over to that. That kind of wraps it up here. I could only give you guys so much detail in 25 minutes, but we'll be back in the afternoon and we will have an in-depth exploration of this pavilion. So, see you guys after the conference.
Watching you, keeping you close.
I had it all figured out, knew which road I would go down, thought I could do it all on my own. Then you came
小薇
around
同学，早上去外婆家，
when fate has its way and things fall into
我们
place.
要给外婆一个大大的
All
惊
the
喜。
plans you made don't make sense anymore. Honey, I am sure love was a good detour. When fate has its way and things fall into place, all the plans you made don't make sense anymore. Honey, I am sure that your love is a good detour.
You stole the light from the stars above, brought it here tonight. I'm mesmerized, terrified, but I've never felt more alive. And I'm falling for
Tides of time. I'm drawn to style, but even more to you in the light of love.
让每次出行都无比畅行。从丈量土地到征服天地，我们从不为越野而越野，我们探索人类的边界，以混动技术创造越野新的可能，让征服的渴望永远炽热，让世界越野记住中国长城。从东方的基因里长出新世界的脊梁，让技术扎根，让价值共生。我们相信，世界的未来不是征服，而是共赢。长城汽车以科技承载文明，以越野丈量世界，以格局 定义未来。科技长城，越野长城，世界长城。
请长城汽车总裁穆峰先生 ，Please welcome Mr. Mu。
يتقابل السيد مو فون المدير لجريتو موتر ليلقي الكلمة. سادة محترمون من أصدقاء وسائل الإعلام وشركاء تجاريين من الخارج، صباح الخير. أنا مو فون لجريت وول موتورز. مرحبا بكم في مؤتمر صحفي اليوم. معرض شنغهاي للسيارات هذا العام يلقى الاحتسان بشكل لم يسبق، وقمت بجولة صباحية داخل القاعة، ولاحظت أن العديد من الشركات المصنعة تركز جهودها في ثلاثة اتجاهات: تنويع مصادر الطاقة، ودمج الذكاء الاصطناعي مع السيارات، وتجسيد تجربة المستخدم في مشاهد واقعية. بمعنى آخر، أصبح الجميع يدرك أن التنافس لم يعد يستقر على تقدم تكنولوجي فقط، بل يكمن في تطور التعاون والمتناغم مع السلسلة الصناعية بأكملها. ومن مؤكد هذا التجول سيكون نقطة جديدة وأيضا فرصة للصين. وفي هذا المسار نحن عازمين على التحول من مؤسسة سورس عظيم إلى GWM العالمي، وهذا هو الهدف الذي حددته GWM لعام 2030، وهو أيضا الاتجاه الذي يسعى إليه جميع العاملين في GWM. فلتحقيق هذا الهدف علينا القيام بعديد من التحضيرات. أولا، على مستوى منتجات يجب تنفيذ استراتيجية ابتكار تقوم على انفجار تكنولوجي. ثانيا، على مستوى قدرة التنافسية الشاملة للمؤسسة يجب تنفيذ استراتيجية تخطيط شامل لنظام بيئي متكامل. ثالثا، من أجل تقديم خدمات أفضل للمستخدمين حول العالم يجب تنفيذ استراتيجية دمج السلاسل الصناعية على المستوى العالمي. أولا، أود أن أشارككم استراتيجية GWM للابتكار القائم على الانفجار التكنولوجي. بحلول عام 2025 سترتقي مؤسسة GWM بتطورها العالمي إلى بعد أعلى. هذا يعني التقنية التي نقدمها للمستخدمين حول العالم يجب أن تكون أكثر تكيفا ودقة. المبدأ بسيط، ولكن تحقيقه صعب جدا، لا سيما خاصة في مجال أنظمة الدفع، فإن احتياجات المستخدمين تختلف بشكل كبير. فكيف نفعل؟ إجابتنا هي استراتيجية ICE شاملة، بمعنى يعني نستخدم وقود وكهرباء معا. نرفض اختيار قاطع بين وقود أو كهرباء فقط، بل تعتمد على نهج يجمع بين محركات ICE وأنظمة دفع كهرباء، بحيث تلائم كل سيارات متطلبات السوق المحلي بأفضل شكل ممكن. دعونا نلقي نظرة أولا على حصة السوق. على مستوى العالم في عام 2024 بلغت معدلات الانتشارات لكل من أنظمة الدفع كالتالي: محركات وقود تقليدية 67%، وهجينة 18%، والسيارات كهربائية صافية 15%. وإنه يعني سيارات كهربائية صافية هي الخيار الأنسب للمركبات الصغيرة التي تستخدم في النقل اليومي، ولكن لن يتعب وقود والكهرباء إذا عمل معا. بالنسبة للمستخدمين فإنه يلبي احتياجات السيارات الرئيسية في جميع السيناريوهات. وفي نظورها في الظروف العالمية يتم استخدام ICE تلبية لاحتياجات سفر المسافات الطويلة. وفي بيئات درجة حرارة منخفضة يتم تفعيل الICE لتحسين البطارية، مما يعزز أداء البطارية ومدى قيادة. في مناطق ذات ارتفاعات عالية يمكن تعويض انخفاض قوة ICE بواسطة محرك كهربائي، فهذا يمكن نحقق أداء أفضل بتكلفة أقل. بالنسبة للمجتمع ككل، إنه يمكن أن يساهم بشكل فعال في تقليل انبعاث الكربون في مراحل تصنيع السيارات. ولقد قمنا بحساب أمر نظرا لاستخدام بطاريات الطاقة بشكل أقل، فقد تم تقليل انبعاث الكربون ب15 في العملية الكاملة. وفي مرحلة الاستخدام نظرا لأن تدخل ICE يقل بنسبة 50 و70%، ويعمل في نطاقات عالية كفاءة، فقد انخفضت انبعاث الكربون بنسبة حوالي 20%. يمكن القول أنه التعاون بين الوقود والكهرباء هو أفضل حل للطاقة التلبية لاحتياجات السوق العالمية. الأصدقاء، لكي يتم دمج محرك الاستعراض الداخلي ICE ونظام الدفع الكهربائي بشكل فعال، هذا هو مش سهل، فهذا هو اختبار لنا في إمكانياتنا. فقد جمعنا تقنيات مختلفة، وأيضا قد قمنا بتطوير HI4 Performance، HIZ، HIT، HIG، مما شكلنا به عجينة متكاملة تشمل سيارات ركابية وتجارية. حققنا فعلا تنوعا في تخطيط التكنولوجي حول احتياجات سيناريوهات مختلفة. فأولا نشوف نظام دفع رباعي هجين لطاقة جديدة HI4. كان هدف من تطوير HI4 هو تمكين مستهلكين من الحصول على تجربة قيادة أكثر أمانا ومتعة دون زيادة تكاليف أو الوزن. جربنا العديد من الحلول، ولكن لم نتمكن من تحقيق التوازن بين الأمان ومتعة القيادة وعدم زيادة التكاليف. في النهاية غيرنا التفكير، ابتعدنا عن التفكير التقليدي في وحدة الدفع، وركزنا على النظر إلى السيارة ككل. قمنا بدمج محركين كهربائيين في المحور الأمامي، مما ساعد على تقليل الوزن في مقدمة السيارة. فلذلك حققنا هكذا. فبهذا الشكل قمنا بتخفيف الوزن في مقدمة السيارة وبزيادة القوة في مؤخرها، مما حققنا 3 أهداف رئيسية. فتحقيق توازن أفضل بين الأمام والخلف، مما يؤدي إلى تقليل استهلاك الطاقة بشكل كبير. فبدافع هذه الفكرة جاء نظام دفع رباعي هجين لطاقة جديدة HI4 إلى الوجود. فيعد نظام HI4 مناسبا للسيارات SUV المدمجة في المدن مثل هافال ستيولون ماكس. يتميز بمحرك هجين خاص بسعة 1.5 لتر T1.5. فهذا قد حققنا سعر دفع ثنائي وأداة دفع رباعي، كما أن جميع منتجات سيارات كهرباء من عملية هافال ستكون مزودة بنظام HI4 الهجين للدفع الرباعي. ثم HI4 Performance. يتميز هذا النظام مناسب لسيارات SUV و MPV متوسط النطاق أكبر. يأتي مزودا بمحرك هجين بسعة T1.5. سوف يتم تجهيز جميع سيارات وير جديدة بنظام HI4 أداء Performance الهجين الدفع الرباعي. ثم ثالثا نتحدث عن HI4Z. إذا تم ذكر HI4Z فقط فقد لا يكون لدى البعض انطباع قوي، ولكن إذا قلنا تانك 500 وسيحقق نجاحا كبيرا. هذا HI4Z هو النظام الذي يتم تطبيقه على مراكب طرق وعراء، وصممتها من فكرة سدو جانيان. بذلك نتمكن من دمج خصائص السيارات الدفع رباعي ودسرة السباق وكفاءة استهلاك وقود سيارة السيدان والنعومة التي توفرها سيارات الكهرباء. فهذا هو أفضل الحلول. ثم دعونا نتعرف على HI4T. هي نظام دافع رباعي ميكانيكي غير قابل للفصل، يتم تدويره بمحرك فصل 2.0 تي و 3 تي. ولقد احتفظنا بخصائص دافع رباعي تقليدية، وأيضا قد بمراعاة يعني فعاليات أخرى في لسيارة وطرق أخرى. وأخيرا دعونا نتحدث عن HI4G المخصص للشاحنات الثقيلة، وهو نظام هجين كهربائي مصمم خصيصا لسيارات النقل اللوجستي للمسافات الطويلة. وهو نظام هجين يقدم مخرجات إجمالية تصل إلى 1050 حصانا. كما يقول أصدقاؤنا من سائقي الشاحنات، الوقود فعلا منخفض جدا والسائقون فعلا يوفرون. من التنقل اليومي في المدينة إلى المغامرات في الطرق الوعرة وصولا إلى النقل التجاري، يتمكن نظام HI4 القوي من تلبية احتياجات مزيد من المستخدمين إلى أقصى حد. يمكن القول إن تكنولوجيا HI4 هي أفضل تكنولوجيا هجين للدفع الرباعي، ولكن محرك الاحتراق داخل النظام ونظام دفع كهربائي ليس خصمين متعارضين، بل هما كائنات متكاملة في تطور التكنولوجيا. لنشاهد الفيديو. عندنا مختلف من الأنماط من السيارات والمحرك. HI4 أفضل حلول للSUV في المدينة في المدن. HI4G يناسب شاحنات ثقيلة بانخفاض الاستهلاك الوقود والصديقة للبيئة. فهذا هو أفضل نمط في العالم. عند التوجه نحو الأسواق اليوم، أردنا أيضا أحدث إنجازات جريت وول موتورز في أنظمة القوة. محرك 4.0 TV8. هذا المحرك هو يمثل خطوة قوية أخرى لصانعي سيارات صينيين في مجال المحرك الفاخرة ذات سعة كبيرة، وهذا أيضا أداة تنافسية قوية لشركتنا لمؤسستنا. فنرحب بالأصدقاء الذين يهتموا به بمتابعته. ثم الآن دعوني أقدم لكم استراتيجية تخطيط الشامل للنظام البيئي لمؤسستنا. مؤسستنا تدرك تماما أن رغبة أن تصبح علامة تجارية تحظى باعتراف واسع من مستخدمين عالميين، لا يمكن تعتمد على تقنية والميزتين فقط. فلذلك قمنا بالاهتمام بالبيئة. ونحن لا نعمل فقط على تغطية سلسلة قيمة الكامل في مجالات مثل قيادة ذكية ومقصورة ذكية وهيكل ذكي، بل بنينا أيضا منظومة طاقة متكاملة تضم طاقة شمسية وتخزين لا مركزي وتخزين مركزي. وقد حققنا دعوني بدء الحديث من الجهود شركاتنا في مجال الذكاء والتقنيات الذكية. منذ عام 2011 بدأنا في تخطيط استراتيجي لمجال الذكاء في السيارات، وفي عام 2024 أنشأنا أول منصة معرفية RAG في قطاع السيارات التي كسرت حواجز بين بيانات مراحل البحث والتطوير والإنتاج والمبيعات وخدمات ما بعد البيع. فهذا يمكن مما يستطيع يعني يحمل المستخدمين في كل ظروف لاستخدام السيارة. فحتى الآن تجاوز إجمالي مسافة قيادة باستخدام نظام مساعدة ذكية في سيارات GWM 130 مليون كيلومتر، كما تم استخدام نظام مساعدة ركن أكثر من 6 ملايين مرة، وبين مساعدة نظام فرملة الطريقة للمستخدمين على تجنب من ما يزيد عن 32 ألف حادث محتمل. فتلتزم دائما بمبدأ حياة أولا وحياة فوق كل شيء. فهذا ليست فكرة جديدة بالنسبة لنا، بل هي مبدأ طالما تمسكنا به منذ البداية من رئيس. ممكن نشوف رأي المدير وي لشركتنا. كل شيء مبني على الأمان، ولا أمان لكل شيء، فلذلك قد وضعنا الأمان أمانة في الأول، ولا يجوز أن نجرب المستخدمين في الخطأ. فمن اللازم أن نطور مساعدة القيادة على أساس الأمن. فعندما نتمتع بمساعدة القيادية فمن اللازم أن نعتبر الأمانة، ولا يجوز يعني مبالغة فعاليات مساعدة قيادية بغض النظر من الأمانة. يبدو أنك تحذر جدا من مساعدة قيادية. المهم أنه يعني من اللازم أن يكون يعني القيادة بين الإنسان والآلة. ولا اليوم أود أن أؤكد مرة أخرى معايير السلامة يمكن دائما أن تكون أعلى، ولا يوجد مقياس مثالي ثابت، بل هناك دائما سعي مستمر للأمام. هذا هو موقف GWM في مجال المقصورة الذكية. قدمنا تطورا كبيرا، أطلقنا مقصورة كافي OS 3 التي تتميز ب5 جيدة. ثم استمرت جريت وول موتورز في الابتكار. طورنا عضوا جديد في نظام كافي OS، وهو نظام فرعي AI. يعد هذا النظام أول نظام تصنيف من AI. أيضا لنا نماذج سي بالصوتي، يمكنه يفكر ويتعامل مع اللغة. ثم دعوني أستعرض لكم تخطيط كامل لنا في مجال الطاقة. في قطاع الطاقة قمنا بإنشاء شبكة شاملة تمتد عبر كامل سلسلة القيمة والصناعة، حيث لا تقتصر جهودنا على بطاريات طاقة فحسب، بل تشمل أيضا مجالات طاقة شمسية والهيدروجين. فكلنا نهتم بسلامة البطارية. في 15 أبريل أصدرت وزارة الصناعة التكنولوجية والمعلومات الصينية أشد معايير بطاريات في تاريخ البلاد، حيث تم إدراج التحكم الحراري دون انشعال أو انفجار كمعيار إلزامي. فأنا فخور جدا بأن أشاركهم أن شركة هايف إنرجي التابعة لشركتنا كانت إحدى جهات مساهمة في صياغة هذه المعايير وطنية جديدة. البطارية التي نتجتها هايف إنرجي تتمتع بقدرة فائقة على تحمل الظروف القاسية. في عام 2021 طرحنا هدف بناء نظام متكامل الطاقة الهيدروجينية يشمل إنتاج وتخزين والنقل والتوزيع والاستخدام. وتعد GWM الشركة الوحيدة في الصين التي أكملت تخطيط كامل لسلسلة القيمة الهيدروجينية على مستوى صناعة السيارات. شركة إكستريم إلكترونيك فوتوفولتايكس التابعة لشركة جريت وول موتورز تركز على مجال طاقة شمسية من خلايا كالسيوم تيتانية، حيث تتمتع بقدرة بحيث بحث وتطوير رائدة عالميا. أهم شيء هو فهم وتوزيع أسواق مختلفة، فقمنا بتوسيع حضورنا في أكثر من 170 دولة في أوروبا، الشرق الأوسط وأمريكا اللاتينية، ونعمل على سد الحاجات في الأسواق المحلية. التنافس بين الأسواق العالمية ليس فقط تنافس بين سيارات، ولكن سلاسل صناعية وبين أنظمة صناعية. فاستنادا إلى هذا الفهم قمنا بدمج الموارد العالمية ممتازة بشكل كامل، حيث دمجنا أكثر من 300 شركة موردة العالمية، بما في ذلك شركات معروفة عالميا مثل بوش وقرة وغيرها من الشركات الرائدة. وأيضا طورنا أجزاء السيارات بما في ذلك المحركات، الجير، وبطاريات الطاقة. وأيضا قمنا بتطوير دمج نموذجنا الذاتي، تطوير كبير كوفي ايجنت بالدمج مع ديبسيك. فكل هذه الموارد الممتازة سنساهم في تقديم أفضل المنتجات والخدمات للمستخدمين حول العالم، لأن استراتيجيتنا أساسية عالمية هي إيكولوجيا عالمية. في منطقة آسيان حققنا إننا يعني أول شركة سيارات صينية تكمل بناء المصانع والإنتاج المحلي وترتيب تكامل بيئي في منطقة. وفي أمريكا اللاتينية وفرنا لعملائها في المكسيك والبرازيل وغيرها من البلدان منتجات تتميز بمستقبلية وتقنيات متقدمة. وأما في الشرق الأوسط قد قمنا بتأسيس وجودنا منذ 27 عاما، ونجحنا في تحقيق تغطية شاملة في 5 دول، في السعودية، الإمارات، الكويت، عمان والبحرين. ودخلنا سوق أستراليا في 2009، ومن ثم قمنا بتوسيع حضورنا لتشمل نيوزيلندا أيضا. وفي المستقبل سنعمل على تعزيز تكاملها مع سلاسل القيمة الصناعية في مختلف الأسواق العالمية. وأيضا نقدم للمستهلكين في العالم أفضل المنتجات. بغض النظر عن السوق الذي تعمل فيه، فإن الابتكار التكنولوجي يعد شرطا أساسيا للحفاظ على الميزة التنافسية، ولكن في جميع الأوقات فإن الالتزام بالنتائج النهائية لتصنيع السيارات ومبدأ يجب على شركات السيارات الالتزام به. في كل هذه الأنظمة الأمن هو أهم شيء الذي نعمل فيه. ثم أود أن أريكم مشهد الفيديو. هذه هي مقابلة لCATV لنا. يا إلهي، 60 كيلومتر كل ساعة. في هذا المقطع نشاهد ميدان معركة. هذا هي أنشأنا بإجمالي استثمار بلغ 500 مليون يوان، هو أكبر متسابق ميدان سلامة في آسيا. في ميدان الاختبار تم تركيب 8 مسارات تصادم يمكنها محاكاة 9000 نوع من الحالات الطوارئة على الطرق. وكما زود ميدان بكاميرات تصوير عالية للسرعة تلتقط حتى 4000 إطار في ثانية، ومما يمكنها من تسجيل لحظة تصادم. منذ 2020 وقد قمنا ب 50 مليار يوان لتزويد مركز الاختبار، فلذلك له قدرة يعني أكثر من 2000 نوع من الاختبارات، وأيضا لنا مختلف الميادين للاختبار. فنظن أنه التنافس النهائي للسيارات هي أعداد الاختبار، كل شيء يعني كل التفاصيل لتصنيع السيارات. هذا اعتقادنا ووعدنا للمستخدمين في العالم. في النهاية أود أن أتحدث معكم عن استراتيجيتنا المتمثلة في Great Wall One Great Wall. نشكر الشركاء كل العالم والأصدقاء من الميديا. لازم أقول كلنا أنتم وأنا قد شاهدنا ازدهار السيارات الصينية في سوق العالم، وقد بنينا الجسر بين العالم في السيارات، وشكرا لكم. في هذه السنة هي السنة الأولى لتطوير هذه الاستراتيجية، فسوف نقوم نقدم تكنولوجيا صينية دافئة في كل مكان في العالم، ونخلق حياة السيارات المتمثلة بالمزيد من الحب في التكنولوجيا. فنرحب بالمستخدمين للعالم أن نشوف يعني هذه السنة يوافق أيضا عيد ميلادي لشركتنا بعام ب 35 عام، وأيضا سنكون رائد في هذا المجال. فكما نعرف أنه اسمنا في العالم GWM، والآن اليوم سننقل GWM إلى الصين، ويسعدني جدا أن أقدم لكم شعار جديد. ودعونا نشاهد الفيديو أن نشوف السيناريو الجديد لاستخدام السيارة الشعار. في سوق الصينية أضفنا قاعدة GWM إلى شعار برج منارة سوق صيني عظيم، وتتولى GWM بشكل مشترك حراسة تطوير برج منارة سوق صيني عظيم. GWM المشتق من الاسم الإنجليزي Great Wall Motor، وهو أيضا اختصار للروح علامة التجارية Go with more التي تمثل تقدم مستمر. إن الهدف الأصلي وراء GWM Great Wall بسيط للغاية، وهو إعلام الناس في جميع أنحاء العالم أن GWM هو Great Wall Motors، و Great Wall Motors هي GWM. وما نريد التعبير عنه هو أن البلدان ومناطق GWM هي موطننا، وسنقدم نفس الخدمة والجودة للمستخدمين في جميع أنحاء العالم. ففي المستقبل سنعمل مع شركاء العالميين لدفع عجلة التطوير وثقافة السيارات والحياة وسينتهي كلامي هذا. الجميع مدعون لحضور إلى جناح سور صنع عظيم GWM وإلقاء نظرة، ولقد قمنا أيضا بعدد هدايا رائعة وقهوة لكم. شكرا. وشكرا للسيد موفون. وينتهي هنا مؤتمر تطوير لسيارة شانغشن الجريت وول.
Wonder is all in your eyes. Care is all in my hands. Beauty is your faith. And dream is what I embrace. Free, fearless, and hand in hand through the endless tides of time. I'm drawn to style, but even more to you in the light of love. I prefer bold vitality over fancy looks, daring and unstoppable.
How you doing? I'm doing a whole lot of broadcasting today. Yeah. Okay. Oh, this guy running in our frame right here. All right, so we're back, guys. That was the international conference. But after listening to all that, hope you guys had a good time. I brought you back here with me, and just in our exhibition right here, I've noticed quite a few people from all different countries. I think they're with different media outlets. They're checking out the GWM exhibition, so we're gonna walk up to them, see what they're up to, and see what they think about the exhibition so far. So let's go check it out. So I see we got one fella over here by the body that I was telling you guys about earlier, the GWM vehicle. So right over here. Hey, excuse me.
Hi.
Where are you from?
I'm from South Africa.
South Africa. Your name?
I'm Chad.
Jack.
Auto trader.
An auto trader?
Yes.
All right, nice to meet you. So what do you think so far at the GWM exhibition?
So far, I'm actually quite blown away. It's overwhelming the amount of technology and innovation that we're seeing here at Shanghai 25.
Right. Any certain types of technology in specific or innovation that really has kind of left an impression on you?
I think overall it's the approach to new energy.
Yeah.
So that fully encompassing approach of solar, hydrogen, NEV, hybrid, and not forgetting about ICE powertrains, which is fantastic. In South Africa, we're still very set on internal combustion and only starting to really embrace hybrid technology. So to hear that GWM is working on all fronts is absolutely fantastic.
Do you think that this movement to new energy vehicles is important in the South African market?
Absolutely, absolutely. Not only from a socially responsible sort of approach, but also from just cost savings, affordability,
fuel economy.
Fuel economy. Yeah, fuel economy is probably one of the biggest things. I think everybody the world over is feeling how we have to tighten the belts and watch what we spend.
Yeah.
New energy, hybrid drivetrains, definitely the way forward, I think, in all markets.
Right, right. So in South Africa in particular, is there a certain model from GWM that you think is the most popular or relatively popular, or that you have seen a lot of?
At the moment, it's the likes of, in South Africa, it's Jolion H6. But we're seeing a strong adoption of the larger brands.
Yeah.
So things like 500, P Series, which is the poor pickup here, light commercial vehicles. They are on the increase in astronomical amounts, exponential growth.
Right.
And I think that is very exciting. And as the GWM brand evolves and morphs and grows and builds its presence in South Africa and its reputation, of course, people are more inclined to spend on the slightly more luxurious options.
Yeah.
So I'm quite keen to see which way GWM goes in terms of their luxury offerings.
Okay. So I know GWM does a lot of off-road vehicles. How would you say that some of their off-road series performs in an environment like South Africa? Because South Africa has a lot of different terrain, right?
Very much so, and we're a very outdoorsy nation. Our consumers gravitate towards double cab pickups, light commercial vehicles, and they want a 4x4 drivetrain that can take them out into the bush, out onto the dunes, and a variety of terrains, as you said. And I think the high 4 system with the hybridization is just expanding horizons. It's just allowing them to really benefit from all that technology in a new way that we haven't encountered before with traditional petrol and diesel powertrains. Things like the High 4T, which is dedicated for a ladder chassis execution, is actually brilliant. I'm quite keen to see what they do with that going forward, because the additional articulation of a ladder chassis is very appealing to South Africans, but now to mix in hybridization and electrification into that, I think that's a game changer.
That's a very interesting mix. So this is something you, before in the South African market, has not really been seen.
No, we haven't seen it at all. We've seen 1 or 2 mild hybrids in the form of 48 volt, but that's not a true series parallel execution where you can actually properly leverage that electrified approach to the powertrain.
So you think the High 4 is kind of a game changer in that aspect?
Very much so. Very much so. Like I say, we gravitate towards double cabs, pickups, light commercial vehicles, and having the option of a hybrid drivetrain, I think it just makes it so much more appealing.
Yeah. So going forward, this is kind of some of the stuff we've seen so far. Going forward, do you have anything that you hope to see from GWM in the South African market? Getting excited.
Yes, getting excited. I'm keen on more of the H-series vehicles, and I'd like to see them with the four-wheel drive drivetrain, the High 4 drivetrain system, hybridized, the larger vehicles, Tank 500s, P500 iterations and the likes. Definitely gravitating towards those. There's a healthy appetite for that. So I'm quite keen to see how it blends into the South African automotive landscape.
Right, so have you yourself gotten a chance yet to try out driving any of these vehicles?
I have. Last year I got a brief glimpse at some of the vehicles. 1 or 2 of them have launched locally, but we've got brand new iterations that are making their way through, and I'm really excited about those. Over the coming days here at Shanghai Auto, we're going to get the opportunity to get up close and personal with them, touch, feel, possibly even drive them, and I am looking forward to that. They haven't told us exactly what just yet, but whatever they've got on hand, I think is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, keeping it a surprise. So how long will you be here for? How many days?
We're going to be here for pretty much the week. We're going to be until the end of the week. We'll probably depart this coming weekend. Just touched down yesterday, and of course, fantastic as always. It's that one highlight in the year. April is always just consumed with the China Auto Show, whether it's Beijing or Shanghai, and it's always surrounded by so much excitement.
It is. There's so many people here. It's very exciting. The atmosphere is awesome.
It's beautiful, and everybody is putting their best foot forward. They've got all their best products on display, the best technology, and then you walk around and you get to see some of the inner workings, things that you aren't necessarily privy to. You know, in the day-to-day or on a dealership floor, and seeing the inner workings really just. Well, that's something special.
It's like a sneak peek. It's a good opportunity.
It is. It's a fantastic opportunity.
You've got a week to get a real in-depth look.
I can go around and I can inspect everything thoroughly.
That's awesome. All right. Well, nice to meet you, Chad.
Lovely. Thank you,
Great talking. I'm going to keep
to you.
running around and see who I can run into.
Enjoy. Everything of the best.
You have fun, man. Okay, so that was Chad from South Africa, and we got quite a bit of people here. We're going to kind of move this way. I think in a moment I see that we have, this guy definitely looks like he's from the Middle East. He's got like the full attire on. I think I actually might know this guy. He looks like a guy that in January I was with at a GWM event for an ice and snow winter off-roading kind of extravaganza event. I saw you at Shanghai Mountain, yeah?
How are you?
Khaled, yeah?
Yes.
How you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
Good. You know, I'm having an amazing time.
Yeah.
The show is so big. The stand of GWM is amazing.
Yeah.
Can't believe it.
So anything that's really impressed you so far or blown you away? Or
I heard the rumor yesterday, but I saw it today.
Yeah.
They're launching the V8, the 4.0 liter twin turbo.
I was looking at that as well.
Cannot wait to really hear the roaring of those engines.
Yeah, we were looking at it earlier. Just looks beautiful, just to look at like a masterpiece. But yeah, it'd be cool to hear it, audio-wise as well.
That's crazy. Everyone is going away from the V8, and they're bringing back the V8. That's amazing.
What do you think that kind of says about GWM? Because a lot of people are going towards electrification and hybrids, and GWM as well, but at the same time, they're also doing engines like the V8.
Yeah, there is market for every car.
Yeah.
Everyone's going for sustainability. GWM is doing great with all this, and bringing a lot of power. But also, do not forget about the people who really enjoy the V8s as well.
Yeah.
So they take care of everyone.
So. What country are you from in the Middle East?
Qatar.
Qatar? Okay,
Yes.
so in Qatar, what would you say is one of the most popular GWM models, or what are you seeing frequently there?
Well, one of the cars that really hit the market very quickly, and they took a good market share, is the Tank 500.
Tank 500.
Yeah, they did well at the sales, but now everyone's looking for the Tank 700.
Yeah.
And the rumor that the Tank 700 in GCC, they will have the V8s. So that everyone is would love to own one of those cars.
So in Qatar, it's really the bigger SUVs and the more luxurious ones that are kind of taking more of a market share.
They took a great market share. We love 4x4s. We have a lot of dunes. We love dune bashing. It's for fun, but you want a reliable car that you can do dune bashing, scam, and also for daily use. And GWM did an amazing job with the rides, with the Haval, for example, the H9, which we have also.
Yeah.
But the Tank 500 did well, and everyone's looking forward also for the High 4Z.
Yeah.
You know what? It did very well at Liwa show, and we tried it even in the snow. So
I heard about Liwa. It's probably a lot of fun.
Amazing.
So you've had the opportunity to drive a lot of different GWM vehicles in the desert, from Qatar where you're from, Liwa in the UAE, right?
And on the snow as well.
Yeah, and the snow. We were both at Shanghai Mountain. So how did it perform?
It's honestly, I was impressed.
Yeah.
I never thought it would perform this way.
Yeah.
Never thought.
Yeah. Right.
So well done, actually, and I cannot wait to see like I said, the V8.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a game changer for sure.
Well, shoot, I'm sure I'll be seeing you at the next event too.
For sure.
We're going to be seeing a lot more of each other. Huh?
Go with more.
Go with more. Go with friends. Alrighty, so that was Khaled from Qatar.
Okay.
All right. He's going to go off and keep walking around. We're going to do the same. So we've got a couple other people from different countries that we are looking for here. I spy another guy over there that we can talk to. So we'll see where he is from. We'll talk to him about what he has thought about the exhibition so far.
Hi mate, how are you?
Jack.
I'm Paul from Australia.
Oh,
nice
from
to meet
Australia?
you. Yes.
Nice to meet you too. How are you enjoying the exhibition so far?
Yeah, it's really good. I find this technology really fascinating.
Yeah, the High 4, yeah?
Yeah, the High 4. We've just seen the coffee intelligence stuff as well, so new infotainment system.
Right.
It's pretty exciting, I reckon, yeah.
Right, so you're from Australia. What kind of model are we seeing more commonly in Australia from GWM? What's like the more popular models?
Look, Australians love off-road driving, and Tank 300 diesel is massively popular, and I'm excited to see this in action. People want to go off-road, they want efficiency, so I think a blend of plug-in hybrid technology plus traditional diesel tech should actually work quite well for Australia.
So we're talking about the High 4 right here. What do you think the High 4 does, or what kind of advantage does it bring to these new vehicles?
Look, from what I can tell, efficiency, but it can't compromise off-road capability. So that's one of the things that will be important to people. They want efficiency, they want to do better stuff for the earth, they still want to be able to go off-road and have the same technical capability they do with their traditional cars.
Right, it's like a vehicle that's very versatile. Like your day-to-day, it's good, it's going to save you on fuel. But at the same time, I know Australia, I'm sure you guys have a lot of different terrain there. You got the Outback, you got the Northern Territories, stuff like that. I mean, it's definitely a place where you do need off-road capabilities if you're going
Absolutely.
outdoorsing.
And towing as well. Needs to be able to tow. So there's a lot of criteria there.
Yeah.
So I think that when it comes to Australia, I'm excited to test it, see how it works, and put it through its paces.
So anything else at the exhibition today that has really left an impression with you or that has really caught your eye?
Look, I'm just blown away with the amount of stuff here.
Yeah, it's like the double pavilion. So he's got like 2 different sections.
Crazy. I love 4-litre V8. That to me is very exciting. I love V8 engines, so I'm glad that GWM is still sticking with performance products, something interesting and exciting. So it's a good mixture of tech, green tech and also performance tech as well.
Right, right. So for you personally, is there anything that you hope to see from GWM going forward in the future, or anything that you are potentially excited about?
Look, I think this technology here, something that blends the ability to have efficiency, zero emissions, to charge a battery, but still be capable at everything that an Australian person wants from a lifestyle vehicle, is going to be important. So I'm really looking forward to this sort of stuff.
Yeah, I have not made my way to Australia yet, but I hope to soon. I know you guys probably got a lot of outdoors and adventures to be had there, but nice talking to you.
Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for your time. And I hope you have fun at all the exhibitions.
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks.
Yeah. All right, so guy from Australia, talking to us about all the stuff he's seen. So, Australia, definitely a place with a very diverse terrain, all sorts of different environments, especially think about it in the outback. If you're out there, a very hot, very sunny environment. Off-road capabilities are extremely important, especially just from the standpoint of safety. You can't have your car crapping out on you in the middle of the outback desert. So you need to have proper cooling systems. You need to have good efficiency in terms of fuel and in terms of range to get you where you're going. So I think it was really interesting to hear, kind of the opinions of people from, environments countries where there is a lot of extreme environments. Qatar, you got the desert. South Africa, it can be pretty intense. And as well as Australia. Hi.
Hello.
You from China or from?
No. I'm from Thailand, Bangkok.
Oh, you're from Thailand?
Yes.
I've been to Thailand 3 times.
Oh, you like it?
And I love Thailand. It's a lot of fun. Bangkok, also Koh Lanta.
Koh Lanta.
And
in the south.
Yeah.
South Thailand. Okay, love to see you.
So did you just get to China recently for the auto show?
Of course, yes.
So what do you think so far?
Oh, I think it's very amazing to see this booth because it's, I know the new model is coming up.
Yeah.
And new technology, just such a high force.
Yeah.
IP system is very amazing.
Yeah.
And good to see the process of is working in a very vehicle.
Yeah.
And looking for wait and see to equip with the GWM in Thailand.
Right. Right. So in Thailand, what kind of GWM vehicles are we seeing most often? What would you say the most popular GWM model is in Thailand?
If you came to Thailand, you can see the road condition. We love to take a trip during the holiday with the family. So the vehicle is popular. It should be a Tank 300.
Tank 300.
Yeah, I guess because the diesel power engine can provide everything. More torque and consumption.
Right.
And it came across everything.
Yeah.
The water, the rock.
Yeah.
And every road is every surface.
Right. All sorts of different kinds of terrain. Because I know in Thailand it's not like summer and winter, right? It's like dry and rainy season,
and
right?
Really hot and rainy.
So when it rains a lot, do you guys typically, will you see things like flooding or a lot of water on the ground?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, in Bangkok too.
Even in Bangkok?
Even in Bangkok. Yeah. And ferry can drowning. So if you drive a Tank 300, it's no problem, no worry, I guess.
Yeah.
If you have somebody, I think it should be a family car.
Yeah.
Yeah. One family car can go everywhere with this model.
Right, and it's not just, like the off-road capabilities, like you say, day-to-day, family-oriented as well.
Yes, no worry, no worry.
So at the exhibition, is there any, so you talked about the high floor, is there any other kind of features from GWM that you find kind of interesting or that you're looking forward to their release and new models? Any other technology or features, stuff like that?
It's the first time I heard about a high floor.
Oh, okay.
Like the first time.
So what did you think when you heard about it?
The working of is really amazing.
Yeah.
It can make